Welcome to AI Explains. Today, we're putting on our detective hats. We're going to travel back to the 2016 U.S. presidential election to solve a mystery.
A mystery all about fake news.
Exactly. And we're using a really cool study by two researchers, Hunt Allcott and Matthew Genskow, as our sort of magnifying glass.
Right. We want to figure out who was telling these lies, why they were telling them, and maybe the biggest question of all.
Did they actually change history?
That's the one.
Okay, so let's unpack this. First, for anyone younger or just anyone who's a bit confused, what is fake news? We're not just talking about a reporter making a mistake, are we?
No, not at all. A mistake is, saying it rained on Tuesday when it actually rained on Wednesday. It's a small error.
Okay.
Fake news is writing an entire story that says, for example, the Pope endorsed Donald Trump for president.
Which never happened.
Never, ever happened. It's a total fantasy, made up completely just to trick you.
And people really believe that story. But this is where the detective work gets really interesting. You'd think these fake stories were written by some sort of political mastermind.
You would, but the truth is actually much, much weirder. A huge chunk of these stories came from teenagers.
Teenagers?
Yeah, teenagers living in a small town called Velis in Macedonia.
Wait, a small town in Europe. What were they trying to do?
Well, they weren't trying to destroy American democracy. They were trying to make money, buy cool stuff like sneakers or cars.
So it's like a digital lemonade stand. But instead of selling lemonade, they're selling lies.
That is a perfect analogy. Seriously, think about it. Every single time you click on a crazy headline on Facebook,
The person who owns the website gets paid.
gets a little bit of money from ads. So if you write a boring, truthful headline, maybe nobody clicks. But if you write, FBI agent found dead.
Millions of people are going to click. Clicks equal cash.
Exactly. And it wasn't just in Macedonia. There were Americans, like a guy named Paul Horner, doing the exact same thing.
And the numbers, they were pretty big, weren't they?
Oh, they were huge. Fake stories that favored Trump were shared on Facebook about 30 million times.
30 million. And for Clinton.
The ones favoring Clinton were shared around 7.6 million times.
So hearing that, 30 million shares, it sounds terrifying. It sounds like the entire country was just being brainwashed.
It does, but this is where the study gives us this big aha moment.
Okay.
If you dig into the data, they found the average American adult only saw and remembered about one fake news story during that whole election period.
Only one.
Just one.
How is that possible?
Well, you have to remember, Facebook feels like the whole world sometimes, but back in 2016, most people still got their news from TV.
Ah, right. Cable news, network news.
Yep, those were still king. Social media was actually the fifth most important source for voters.
So the internet was really loud, but most people were still just watching regular TV ads. But okay, for the one story they did see, why did they believe it?
That gets into something called the echo chamber.
Right, where you only hear things you already agree with.
Exactly. It's like being in a room where your own voice just bounces back at you. We all tend to trust stories that make our team look good.
So it's not really about being smart or dumb.
Not at all. The study showed that both Democrats and Republicans were about 15% more likely to believe a totally fake headline if it helped their side.
So it's about believing what you want to be true, like with a sports team.
Precisely. You want to believe the ref made a bad call against your team, even if the replay shows he didn't.
Okay, so let's get to the final verdict. Did this all matter? Did a bunch of teenagers in Macedonia accidentally pick the president of the United States?
The study's conclusion is probably not.
Really?
Yeah. The persuasive power of these few fake articles was, well, tiny. It was nothing compared to the millions spent on regular old TV commercials. Fake news very likely did not decide the winner.
Ooh, okay, that's good news, I guess.
It is, but there is a catch.
There's always a catch.
Even if it didn't change the vote, it does something else. It makes it so much harder for all of us to just agree on basic facts. It muddies the water.
That is a pretty scary thought.
It is. And it leaves us with one last important question for you to think about.
If a bunch of teenagers in a small town in Europe can trick millions of adults just to make some pocket money, what does that say about how careful you need to be with what you click on tomorrow?